The year is 2019. Somewhere in May, two players decided to have themselves an epic showdown. One of these two players was at the time already... Was he already? Maybe he wasn't already. But one of these two players would go on to become the KSL champion in the year 2019. So that's about a couple months after this. Maybe Light, here on the name Hotube, which is the last part of his name is Lee Jae-ho, and Ho is the last part of his name. That's why he's called Hotube, because, well, that's just a naming scheme people used in Korea. Tube is for YouTube, Ho is, well, part of his last name. Opponent Burgersasu. But we've got Light here, who would, 5 months after this, maybe 4 months after this game, go on to become the KSL champion for KSL Season 4, and he would later on even go on to become the ASL champion. Now, KSL and ASL are both the most prestigious and highest levels of StarCraft competition in the world. So, you could argue, Light here, Hotube, went on to become the best StarCraft player in the world, not once, but at least twice. And he's playing on the Protoss against Burgersasu, who's on the other side of the map. So these two players decided to meet up to deliver us this epic Protoss against Zerg content. I do have to add a note. I have to add a note that I don't know if this replay is going to work until the end. I'm not entirely sure, because this replay is from 2019 in May, and back then the players used to play on a map that sometimes corrupted replays if they went longer than about 21 minutes. And some of the games in this set are a little bit longer than 21 minutes. But just back from that completely disjointed, unscripted, and failure of an introduction, because honestly I should have just written a script beforehand, but I'm kind of winging it. But I like winging it. I like just improvising an introduction that doesn't make as much sense or isn't as cohesive as it should be, but I just like doing it. That's just the way I roll. So Burgersasu here on the Zerg against Light on the Protoss. Light is actually a Terran player, but it's Protoss. He played Protoss for about half a year in the professional community, and he did pretty well. He did pretty well. His Protoss is pretty damn fucking good. That's the only thing I can say about it. So he arrives here in Burgersasu space, and Burgersasu has his larva, I mean Zerglings, finish up just in time to fight off those Zealots that are attacking the suckers in the front. Maybe, just maybe, if he hadn't walked all the way into the back, maybe he got a little bit greedy. If those two Zealots had been attacking the sunken there in the front, maybe, just maybe, he would have killed the choke. But he decided to go for the drones in the back, which meant no damage on the sunken in the front. And then two more Zealots arrived, and they did do damage to the sunken in the front, but they didn't do enough damage to the sunken there, so the sunken stays alive. But Burgersasu is investing a lot of minerals into those Zerglings. So Light is dancing there back and forth a little bit, trying to contain the Zerglings, but the Zergling does make it out. Gonna scout across the map. Got a cannon there on the way in the front, double gateway there in the choke for Light. So this is kind of an attack, but not really an attack. He tried to rush, but he wasn't planning on going all in on the rush, because he has a Nexus there on the way here back at home. Already has a robotics on the way. That's a very fast robotics. Very fast robotics. He makes 4 gas already. That's going to be a lot of gas income, which leads me to believe he might go for a very fast Templar's Archive or a very fast Templar drop. And no, it is not a fast Templar drop. Well, he can't build the Templar's Archive yet, so maybe it is. It's a double robo. This is kind of a fastest map build, or what am I saying? I'm completely mixing things up left and right. What I wanted to say is this is kind of a Terran against Protoss build order, where the Protoss goes for double Reaver with Zealot speed. But apparently this also allegedly works against Zerg when you're trying to do a frontal bust. You get level 1 attack, you get Zerg Zealot speed, and then you get 1 Reaver, wait no, 1 shuttle. I'm completely messing things up left and right. I'm saying so many things completely wrong. It's kind of shocking to me that I'm having so many gaffes and fumbles with my words already in the first 5 minutes. 1 shuttle, 2 Reavers. Shuttle speed, level 1 Zealot attack. Apparently, no Zealot speed. He's got 2 Reavers on the way, Templar's Archive on the way as well, and he's getting a Stargate. Kind of a unique build order that I haven't really seen anyone do against a Zerg. Also gonna level 1 air attack. This is kind of unique, but there are traces of traditional and orthodox choices in what you would do against a Zerg. Burgersasu doesn't have Hydralisks yet, but he's got some on the way. The Hydralisk den is finished up. He sees the shuttle there with the Overlord on the side. Zealots are unloading inside of Burgersasu's base, but Burgersasu's got Zerglings and Zealots, Zerglings and Hydralisks, ready to intercept and kill those Zealots. Comes in, unloads a couple more. Shuttle taking some fire. Zealots are doing a pretty good job in taking down those Zerglings, but the Hydralisks behind the Zerglings are doing like most of the work in taking down, even a little bit of micro mixed in, and the Zealots wind up achieving barely anything at all. But we've got about 6 hatchers in the back there for Burgersasu, 1 in the front, 7 in total. I think Hydralisk's speed is almost finished up, getting 2 more hatcheries, getting 3 more hatcheries. Dark Temple there on the way in the front. Cannot break through because there's an Overlord hanging in the air, but is just staying there on the middle to make sure that Burgersasu is not going to move out for a counter-attack. I like that detail. So we've got the shuttle there with the Reavers inside, flying across the map. Let's try to fly and micro around. No, he's going to go for unload and try to attack the Hydralisks, but that choice didn't quite work out for Light as he wanted it to. Loses a Reaver, doesn't kill too much. An Overlord here went down inside of Light's base. The Corsair just finished up. He's going for even more robotics. This is kind of looks like he's going to go for a Corsair Reaver build order. Maybe Disruption Web as well once he finishes that Fleet Beacon. The Fleet Beacon is already on the way, a very early Fleet Beacon. Definitely smells like Disruption Web Reaver, which can be an absolutely destructive combination in the hands of an absolute professional micro god. And Light himself is actually one of the very best micro players out of every single player in the world. His micro is what sets him apart from everyone else. His micro and his planning. So he's putting the Corsairs on the side on hold position, which I really like. Is going to keep those Overlords away from the sides without putting the Corsair at risk. Burgersasu mostly relying on the Hydralisk production. Light is going to go for a double drop both at the same time from 2 different directions. Going to try to sneak through. One is going to distract from the other. Let's hope Burgersasu defends against this, or maybe he won't be able to. Maybe the shuttles are going to fly through and attack the drones. He's got 39 drones, so that's a pretty big number that Light is going to try to kill. But there's a lot of Hydralisks in between. Another wave of drones just spawning. Light is taking his time, going to go for a 3rd shuttle. So he's not just going to go for a double shuttle attack. He's going to go for a triple shuttle attack from 3 different directions. The bottom left corner, the bottom right, and the top left. Goes in with every single drop, every single one at the same time. Also on the top, try to storm. Oh, the microcontrol here is great. Flies in with one of them. Temple unloads. Temple unloading from every single shuttle there is. And he kind of misses all the drones, but that shuttle there gets taken down as well. So while the control was really good, Burgersasu just had to pull his drones to safety. And maybe Light tried to do maybe a little bit of a too complex of a move. I mean, microing 3 shuttles at the same time, while unloading 3 shuttles at the same time at 3 different locations, while storming with Templars on 3 different locations, does kind of seem pretty damn difficult to do. So maybe double shuttle would have been better, just to make it a little bit easier to execute, because it is a difficult task he took upon himself. His micro is some of the best, but triple Templar, triple shuttle, 3 directions might have been a little bit too much. So just tries to kill a couple of Hydras there, but Burgersasu just easily splits up the Hydras, doesn't lose a single one to the Storm. Just goes to show that Burgersasu himself is not too shabby when it comes to micro. He's a really fast player on 64 drones already. He's got 5 hatcheries on the top, 4 on the bottom, so 10 in the base, 1 in the front. The front hasn't really been attacked that much. Light doesn't really care about gateway units. He doesn't have a lot of gateways. He's getting more gateways now though, to produce more Templars, Zealots, and whatever else he needs to go for the attacks there on Burgersasu's economy and his front door. Reavers are unloading there on the scene. He's got Scarab damage finished up. Does he have capacity? I don't think he has capacity yet. Of course, it's in the air with level 1 attack. Reavers are pushing forward really quickly. I mean, the choke is so small that there's not much to push through. But still, he's pushing through that choke. It's going to be a little bit easier to attack through the front door in the future if all those sunkens go down. Burgersasu is building a new row of creep colonies, soon to be sunkens, adding more Hydralisks to his unit army, getting a Great Aspire in the back as well, getting level 1 attack and Carapace for his ground units for both the Hydras and the Zerglings. Reavers are quadding forward, Templars are behind the Reavers. Another group of Reavers flying across the map, might go for the drones, might just unload in the front and go for the push. This is a lot of Reavers, guys. This is a lot of Reavers. I count about 12, maybe 13. That's at least 13 Reavers with Scarab damage. There's Disruption Webs coming out. Light is showing off his micro skills. He's just trying to be fancy, and it's looking fancy. But is it gonna work? Did he use those Disruption Webs too early? Because we got Hydralisks left and right, all about, ready to strike, all hotkeyed, ready to attack. Light has moved forward. The Templars are gonna be the key. Oh, but Burgersasu goes in, gets a surround off. Disruption Webs are coming down, and all the Hydralisks getting a great dodging the storms, but still getting hit by the storms because there's too many of them. Trying to target fight the Reavers, but the Disruption Webs are absolutely pooping and shitting all over his Hydralisks. And the drop there comes in, drop gets sniped though, so the drones do stay alive. But Burgersasu just lost almost his entire army, and Light is pushing through fiercely pushing through. It's gonna take a miracle for Burgersasu to not die. Observers are arriving on the scene. Temples have turned into Archons. More Hydras are dying. More Disruption Reps are being thrown down. Reavers are mowing everything down. Like, damn, this is going fast. This is a beautiful push. But reinforcements for Light are arriving a little bit too slow, and the Reavers have had their time to use all the Scarabs they could make and have, and they do in the end go down. So Burgersasu stays alive, barely 100 supply. He had about 170 at the start of this fight, all the way down to 100 against 150. But Light is forced to retreat because, well, he doesn't have that much production. He's got 8 gateways, got 5 robos, maybe not enough to keep up the pressure consistently. Also only has 60 probes. He's making it work with only 60 probes, but I do think if Light had a little bit more production, a couple more gateways, a couple more robos, he would have been able to keep up the pressure more consistently, because now we see Burgersasu pushing Light out of his house. And he's already building new sunkens, getting more hatcheries, got lurkers on the scene as well. No Defiler Mound yet. Doesn't have a lot of gas either. I mean, he's mining from 5, so another 5 are still unoccupied. Got more Dragoons are coming across the map. He keeps trying to fly drops in, but Burgersasu keeps covering the pathways to the drones exceptionally well. As you can see on the mineral count there, Light might really need a couple more of those probes on the minerals, because he will struggle if this game goes on any longer. He will struggle with rebuilding his army. Burgersasu tries his luck. Reavers are shooting, but the Reavers are not shooting enough. Reavers are not doing enough work. Simply too many units coming in there. A couple more Reavers unloading there behind the other Reavers. I'm going to try to make this work as 5 Reavers are on the scene. Burgersasu doesn't believe he can do this and pulls back to safety to his sunkens, where the Reavers and Dragoons cannot attack. So Burgersasu, quite a successful push, killed a lot of Dragoons and Reavers, but doesn't yet have enough production going to non-stop send out Hydralisks and Zerglings to kill Light's army. I haven't talked much about the upgrades, but Light is on 122. Already got level 3 armor and attack on the way. Level 3 shield and attack. Level 2 armor. Small correction there. Same for his air units, which are currently on 122 as well. So 122 for ground and air. So upgrades are going lightning fast. More Corsairs, more Reavers have arrived in Burgersasu's base. Gonna continue pushing on. Reavers. The Reaver Scarab damage is just so damn high. And the Disruption Web just makes it so difficult to kill them. But at the moment, presently, Light does not yet have enough energy on the Corsairs to disrupt all the Hydralisks. But the Templars are pretty much doing most of the heavy lifting on the Hydralisks that are getting close to the Reavers staying alive with the protection from the Templars, protection from the Dragoons. Things are looking great for Light. As he's slowly marching forward, Burgersasu though, 150 supply. He's gonna go for the surround attack on all those units. Got Zerglings coming in. Templars trying to storm and clear everything out, but there's so many streaming in onto those Reavers and Dragoons that in the end it does look like the Reavers are gonna succeed. Although I cheered a little bit too early. Because look there, he won the fight. Burgersasu producing another round, but Guardians coming from the back with double Devourer protection against the Corsairs. Guardians going to try to clear everything out as fast as they can, but they stack up against the Archon, although the Archon goes down, so they're pulling back, but the Guardians didn't achieve too much, but 2 of them are still up in the air. Hydralisk spawning as reinforcements, and they do push all the Reavers, kill them all, and regain control over the base, but Light already has new Reavers, new Dragoons, coming from his base, ready to put the pressure back on Burgersasu. He's not going to be allowed to rest, not even one single moment. Although Light can't quite find a way in. So next time is going to be the next time that he's going to try to wriggle himself in there. Or maybe he's just going to go for another frontal push. If only Light had a couple more probes, a couple more buildings here back at home. I mean, at the time of this game, Light did not yet have a whole lot of fastest experience, so he isn't quite used to building millions of gateways and robotics, or millions of cannons like others do. But so far, he's been displaying a really smart and strong and well-controlled Protoss. But given his opponent's Burgersasu a fastest map virtuoso, we can't just expect Light to just steamroll the competition. Great storms there, Hylas dodging, the Dark Templar there in the mix is being an absolute pain in the butt, but it's over chasing right into... Oh, he pulls it back. He pulls it back, keeps it alive. Great attention to detail, great awareness. So more disruption webs are coming down, and Light continues on with the push. Reavers unloading within sunken range there though, but only one single sunken is firing, only one is shooting, takes some scarabs to the face, explodes, dies. Hyla is dodging the storms. Light is once again inside the middle of the base. Disruption web there getting control over the base itself. But the Hylas are coming from every... Oh yeah! Mutalisks coming into the group. Mutalisks coming and showing up, changing the tide, changing the battle, winning definitively this fight here on the scene, on our screens. It's going down, my friends. The One Dark Templar there is really just racking up kills because there's no Overlord there. 7 kills, probably gonna go to 10. Well, maybe not. Maybe it is. Overlord's moving forward with number 9 and gets taken down. Not allowed to get 10 kills in total. So once again, Light shows up with a couple more units ready to keep up the pressure. And Burgersasu is having some real trouble here. He's down to 58 drones because he's been using drones from the minerals to build new sockets in the front, because he's been using all of his larvae from the hatcheries to produce Hydralisks, because if he doesn't produce Hydralisks non-stop, Light is definitely gonna just push him over. Oh, drop comes in. Drop gets taken down. Templar unloads. Templar gonna storm on the Hydras. Beautifully done. Another drop there from the bottom side. There's a Spore and Hydralisk in between. Can he unload the Templar? Templar unloads and cannot get close enough. So he storms on some drones on the gas instead. So Light is mixing in some drops, but Burgersasu just kind of easily defending those because he's got vision all over the place. and he's got map awareness that is pretty much unmatched. So yeah, easy defense. Well, not easy. Burgersasu is really trying really hard to stay alive. He's fighting really hard, doing his best. It's definitely not easy. That was kind of a fake news comment on my behalf. So once again, 10 Reavers. A lot of shuttles. A lot of Archons. Where is he gonna go? The Corsairs once again coming out, flying across the map. I do think they have about maxed out upgrades 233, ground 233 as well. Burgersasu is on 3-3 already for the ground, and the air is on 2-1. So Burgersasu, pretty damn good at getting upgrades while defending at the same time. You're just not gonna catch this guy off guard. Lurkers on the high ground. Ooh, I do like when a Zerg actually puts something on the high ground. You don't see it often. Most of the time it's kind of just the Terran that bothers putting tanks on the high ground. But Lurkers, Hydralisks, they are pretty good on the high ground as well. So Light is taking his time because he had to wait for shuttles to finish up. While that is happening, Corsairs are clearing out the map, but while that is happening, Burgersasu is turtling up, getting more spores and sunkens in the front, on the sides, Lurkers burrowing up as well, Corsairs in the air to snipe down observers and shuttles of course. He just has a little bit of everything left and right. Corsairs killing stuff, shuttles looking for a way in. Scorches are dancing back and forth. This is kind of the dance of trying to bait the other in. Are you gonna bite? Are you gonna go? Because I'm ready for you. That's what Burgersasu is saying. I'm ready for the shuttles. Dancing back and forth with the Scorches. Scorches are just... I want me a piece of shuttle. Is he gonna get a piece? I don't know. Corsairs going in a little bit too far. Disruption after coming down on the spores. This is beautifully done. Gonna fly in with the shuttles, but the shuttles are getting pushed back by the Scorches. He doesn't want to take the risk of just absolutely blowing his load on the very first unload and getting completely obliterated by the Scorches just jumping on him. So he pulls... It's just a dance for now. He's looking for a way in. He doesn't want to waste his army, because this is a lot of supply. And if he loses this supply without killing anything... Ooh, the Corsairs there in the front protecting, but now the Corsairs are pretty much all dead and gone. But it does look like Light finds a nice little corner to unload in. He has disruption webs, he only has 2 of them onto some Hydras. There's Archons and Reavers inside, pushing forward, killing everything they can. More Reavers and Archons and Templars are on the other side. Might go pick them up. He's doing a pretty good job of slowly pushing forward a tiny bit, but if he had more Reavers and Templars here on the scene, this would look very differently. Although, I do think he already killed about 30 Hydralisks. Guardians in the air getting pushed back by the Archons. I've never seen Archons used on fastest map quite like this, protecting the Reavers. This is a really good push. This is really good shit. This is the really good shit. But the shuttle's there. It's a mating dance. Miss. Oh, he hits. He hits the ensnare. Shuttles. Are they gonna survive? Oh, 4 of them go down. The Archons have died. Reavers have killed 1, 2, 3 hatcheries and some spores and a lot of units there in the corner. Now we've got more shuttles here on the way trying to fly in, but the shuttles are still slowed down. And we do have units here on the scene from Burgersasu reporting on what's flying overhead, so he's not going to get caught by surprise. Of course, just once again ready to clear the scene of the crime. Just opening up that map, denying the vision for Burgersasu. Burgersasu quickly rebuilding, sending drones to the bottom corner. Got some Hydralisks and the Filer there as well. The Filer plague really can make a difference in defending against the Reavers, because just removing half their HP, or well, all their HP, not the shields, just makes it so easy to defend them. Just makes it so easy to kill them. So once again, we resume with the ritual mating dance of Light against Burgersasu. Shuttle, Corsair, Scorch, Guardian, Hydralisk. One of these 2 will strike first, but which of the 2, we don't quite yet know. It all depends on who decides to make the first move, and who makes the biggest mistake. And while we're waiting, I'm gonna just drink something, because this is the perfect time to rest a little bit and relax. Okay, and here we see the Scorchers catch the Corsairs in midair. It is a brutal fight of the Scorch against the Corsair, and it does look like the Corsairs in the end do win the exchange. The Queen with the ensnare managed to catch a couple of them Corsairs up high in the air, but it didn't quite do the trick. So I actually think this might be a pretty big mistake. He only has 58 pros, but he's sending a lot of them into their deaths. Like more than 12 of them. I do not agree with this choice. It feels like Light is believing he's got too many probes, but he doesn't. He has too few of them. Goes down from 58 to 41, and 3 more going down the drain. So this is quite problematic. He's pulling probes from the gas though, so 38 probes from the gas being put onto the minerals, still has a couple up on the gas. I'd say he's got about 24 probes on the gas. He is going to burn through his money really fast, because Templars, they're kind of cheap in terms of minerals, but the Reavers and Shuttles are expensive as hell. So are the Corsairs. And the Scorches are hunting across the map, looking for them Shuttles and Corsairs, looking for a snack. This flock of Scorches comes in from the northern side, gets into the middle of his base, finds one Shuttle but nothing else, finds a Corsair but nothing else, finds a Corsair but nothing else. Okay, he found something. He found a couple Corsairs and Shuttles. He killed something. Not a lot, but the move was very proactive. You can kind of see that Light is unsure on how to proceed. At this point, I guess he simply doesn't yet have enough experience playing fastest map 1v1, Protossic and Zerg. But he's moving forward. We have a very big Overlord dropping on the bottom side. Total of 10 Overlords with 2 drones. Ooh, he's going for a Nidus. So it's not a drop, it's just, you know, flying across the map. Gonna build 2 hatcheries here. Gonna get a Nidus. I'm gonna backdoor him. More Overlords there on the bottom corner. He's preparing himself for a cute little backdoor attack, which Light is not expecting because he's got cannons on the middle. So Light goes into the top corner, unloads on the top corner, Reavers, everything you can imagine. There's disruption webs there on the spores, but ooh, plagues on it. Oh, this is the most beautiful little palette of colors. This is a beautiful wallpaper. This is a beautiful art piece. Corsairs clearing out the Guardians. Storms have certainly done their job there. Corsairs have done their job as well. Disruption webs are still there on the scene. You've got all Lurkers getting closer. Lurkers getting completely destroyed. Burgersasu is losing so many units and Overlords. But he has more Overlords on the bottom side of the map, so he doesn't really care about losing Overlords. But this is a pretty brutal push from Burgersasu, from Light. Templar on the scene, Templar storms, Templar hits, Templar kills a lot. That's 50 drones dead and gone. That is a massive drop. But he has 13,000 minerals. He's got Mulas spawning. The Corsairs have been sacrificed, which might not have been the wisest idea, because if the Corsairs were still alive on top of these Reavers, the Corsairs would have killed the Mulas, and the Reavers now wouldn't have gone down, which wouldn't have given Burgersasu the opportunity to now go for probably a counterattack with about 36 Mulalisks. Because that does look like 36 Mulalisks that are flying across the map, and they're just gonna redirect and slowly fly in a circle towards their destination. And Light is now experiencing some economic problems, because 37 probes, all on the minerals, it simply is not enough. You need at least about, I'd say 45, 48. Comes in with the Mulalisk Corsairs in the air, gonna try to defend the Nexus. They're getting on top of the Nexus, gonna start to attack the Nexus. The Mulalisk are pretty well spread out. That Nexus is gonna go down very, very fast against these maxed out, upgraded Mulalisk. And the Mulalisk have done their hit and run, and they do return back home. They have done the job they wanted to achieve, and Light is now in even more economic struggle. The struggle has grown greater, and it's largely self-inflicted. So Burgersasu now finally rebuilding his drones. He spent about 6,000, 7,000 minerals on getting lurkers, more hydralisks, and a lot of other stuff as well. The mutalisks in the end do go down. Another great ensnare there on the Corsairs. Another shuttle drop there is on the way, ready to go into the top corner to push from the exact same spot. But I do think he wants to pick up a couple more Reavers. But picking up a couple more Reavers might just give Burgersasu enough time to prepare himself for his attack. Although he is putting units into the Nidus on the other side of the map, going to go for the backstab attack while that drop is going to be happening. Actually, he's going to pick up those lurkers and hydralisks. He's going to pick them up. Not going to go for a front door attack, but just going to unload here in the back and finish Light off once and for all. But Light kind of doesn't want to just let that happen. So both players are setting their drops in at the same time. Corsairs pushing forward, Destruction Weapons are on the ground. Overlords are flying in over the bottom side of Light's base. Light is unloading inside of Burgersasu's base. Now we've got on both sides of the map a fight is erupting. Lurkers are on the scene. Lurkers killing all the pros. Pros are dead and gone. Light has no money left in the bank. Nothing at all. He's completely broke at this point. No income, 7 minerals. He won't be able to make scarabs for the Reavers. So once the Reavers have blown their load, they're going to be out for the game in their post-nut clarity. They're just going to be out of the count. Out for the count. Getting destroyed back at home. Just trying to make the most of it. But once his scarabs are gone, as I said before, he's going to be entering his post-nut clarity because he's blown his load and there's nothing left to show. And that's it. Light loses in 31 minutes and 35 seconds in his very first game of his best of something set. Because they played about a couple of games, but in his very first game, Burgersasu drives himself to a hard-fought win. Because that defense against the Corsair Shuttle, Reaver, Templar, Dragoon stuff here in the choke, ooh, that was mighty, mighty fine stuff from Light. But Light not prepared for the diverse methods of attack that Burgersasu had hidden in his pocket. A large bag of tricks, and honestly, this proxy Nidus Overlord drop strategy, I kind of really like it. But it's a little bit difficult to pull off because you do need free open access onto the map, and then hope that your opponent isn't constantly scouting the map to kill it. But thank you for watching. It was RJB for RJBTV, and I do hope you return in the next video. Slight correction, because you cannot be in the video. Maybe you can, but the chances are going to be small. But hope you return for the next video sometime when I make the next video. I don't have a schedule, so it's going to be coming out whenever I feel like it. Have a good day, and see you soon. I love you all.